This is the Russian Dynamite, Masha Slamovich.
Becca here.
This is not America's sweetheart, Davian.
It's Billy Starks. And
the super fly guy, Trayvon Jordan.
This is the fly side flyer, Jalen Brandon.
Hardcore Princess, Jules Malone.
Hi there, this is the Bubblegum Princess, Alexia Nicole.
This is the Brazilian Wonder Woman, Christy Jane.
This is the baddest black belt, Chennai Kai.
This is Kid Bandit.
The smash hit, Joel Bateman.
This is Robin Renegade.
Cody Hawk.
Brutal Bob Evans. And you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment, one of my favorite podcasts in the whole wide world.
Hey, this is Ruslan, and you're listening to Wrestling with Entertainment.
Hello, and welcome to the show. It's Wrestling with Entertainment, the only audio experience on the web today, the trusted choice for interviewing all your favorite wrestlers every Tuesday and Wednesday on YouTube and Castbox, sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. I'm of course your host, James J, and it's a great day for wrestling because we are wrestling with Ruslan. How are you today?
Yeah. Hello there. Thank you for having me. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. Can you tell us what you have coming up event-wise?
Well, for me personally, I gotta be honest, I have nothing coming up right now because I'm currently healing from my ACL injury. But we do have shows over here in Norway that's coming up. I don't remember the name of the upcoming show, but it's the. Can I just double check,
yes,
or
absolutely.
can we re-record this?
I could. Okay, wait. Okay, and what's the name of the show?
The upcoming show is on March the 1st, and it's called Trouble in Tiger State. So Tiger State is kind of a nickname for Oslo, the capital of Norway.
Okay.
And it's going to be about, well, we have a owner of the company who is experiencing some trouble with the roster, and he's been paying off the bad guys for a few years now, but it's kind of a riot now, so the good guys kind of taking over. So we'll find out what's going to happen.
Okay. And where can we find you on social media and your merchandise?
You can find me on Instagram, wrestling_R, and you can find me on Facebook, Norwegian Nightmare Ruslan. So I'm just on Facebook and Instagram, and I have merchandise at prowrestlingtees.com.
Perfect.
And yeah, at live shows.
Perfect. And you don't have to go looking for it. All of the links to all his social media will be in the description of the video below, but on YouTube and Castbox. Alright, let's get into it. You work for Norwegian Wrestling Federation and Union
Correct.
of Europe Wrestling Alliance. Can you tell us about your relationship with those companies?
I started out here in Norway at Norwegian Wrestling Federation when I was 19, I think. Yeah, probably 19. And I've been here ever since, 14 years and counting, and also worked for some companies in the alliance, and yeah, we have a really great relationship here in Norway with the alliance, with all the members, and we from time to time we do exchange wrestlers to kind of gain the experience. If you do not work with different guys or girls, you do not evolve. You do not get better if you only wrestle the same guys.
Right.
So we're kind of, you know, we like to exchange wrestlers and book someone from abroad and book ourselves abroad just to gain the experience, you know, and have fun.
You know, you will be my first person that I've interviewed from Norway. And you know, when it comes to pro wrestling, you know, I don't think a lot of people think Norway. So what is Norway pro wrestling like? You know, what's Norway wrestling like compared to, you know, what we see like on WWE, I'd say?
Well, there are many differences between a TV show and live shows, and it's the same in every indie show, I would guess. From what I have seen on TV, and I also have attended WWE live shows, I see the way they work on camera. They do not work the crowd. On live shows they do at some extent, but their main focus is to work the camera and kind of make the you know, up the entertainment part of the show. And the indies in Norway in particular, we work the live crowds, and everything we do is for the crowd that's present, although we do film as well. But the main focus is on the crowds. Therefore, I would say, I'm not gonna try to scare anyone, but I would say that the way we work is a lot harder and stiffer than you can see on TV, for example. And my philosophy is to have as much storytelling and psychology as well as hard-hitting moves in a match, rather than entertain the camera and be light. Of course, we protect each other, but still we do hit a lot harder, I would say, because when I compare the videotapes that from our shows compared with WWE, for example, and it's a lot softer on TV than in real life. And same goes for, I would guess most indie companies.
Right. And where would you say Norwegian pro wrestling is right now, you know, in the pro wrestling world?
It's up and coming, I would say. We've been around for 20 plus years actually, but it's not before like 2 years ago we really started to get out there, really started to grow like a lot. And I would say it's the change of culture in Norway, because the people here, they usually don't like martial arts. They don't like wrestling. It haven't been really popular, but like I said, like 3 years ago, it really started to grow. The interest started to grow, and as a result, we grew a lot. And we actually had in November we had a show which had like 650 people there in the crowd, and that is a big milestone for us, because compared to our neighbors, for example, in Sweden or Finland, they draw bigger crowds, and it's kind of normal for them. But the mentality of people is different there. So the interest for martial arts and wrestling there is a lot bigger than here, but we are really catching up now.
Okay, I gotcha. Now, you mentioned, you tore your ACL. You're recovering right now.
Yeah.
What happened?
This is a funny story, actually. Very, very short one. I did rupture my ACL like 10 years ago on my right knee, and I came back like after 6 months. I was in the ring competing again, although it was against what the doctors recommended, but I was young and stupid. Looking back at it, it wasn't probably wise. But now I tore my other ACL on my left knee. And what happened, actually, I think it was just wear and tear, because I don't really know what happened. I was about to start the match. I walked out to the ring. During my entrance, I go to the corner on the second corner, and I do my pose. I greet the crowd and stuff like that. And as I was walking towards the second corner and started to climb up, my knee just collapsed. I didn't know what happened. I didn't hear any pop, nothing, no pain. It just collapsed. So I get up again, and I feel some kind of discomfort, and I started walking, and then my knee pops again. So it just collapses, and I fall on the canvas, and I lay there. I don't understand what's happening, because I couldn't feel anything that could, indicate that I am injured. So I didn't know what happened. It was completely pain-free when I was there. And my opponent looks at me kind of, what's happening? Am I just trolling, or what's going on? Because he didn't see any reason for me behaving like that. So he probably thought I was faking. So I get up, I started walking, shake my leg a little bit, try my knee out, and I understand that it's going to happen again. But I am very stubborn, and we were scheduled for like a 10-minute match or something like that.
Oh, wow.
So I thought, like, how much time has passed now? I have to fill the time with something, so I have to try. Otherwise, I will put pressure on the guys who come after me. So I just yelled at the crowd. Still, I'm 33 years old, and I'm still stupid, I would say. So I didn't quit. It was announced that I'm injured, but I said, if it costs me my career, I will still try. So I yelled at to the crowd, I will do it for you guys. It's very unwise doing that, but like I said, I'm stubborn. So I tried, and we wrestled for 3 or 4 minutes, and I thought, okay, so we did something, and I know I probably can't lift him, and I can't run. So I kind of improvised, and we ended up quickly. So I lifted him up for my finisher, and we didn't actually talk during the match. I just, took the control in my hands, and I lifted him up for my finisher, and then my knee pops again.
Ooh.
So I dropped him. I wasn't actually going to do the finisher. My finisher is a brainbuster. So I didn't actually plan to do the finisher. I planned to kind of lift him up and kind of make him knee my head so he could roll me up. And I lift him up and my knee collapses again. So I dropped him and he understood that, okay, this is what I wanted to do. So he did his finisher and 1, 2, 3, we're done. And afterwards, I walk backstage. I still don't understand what's happened. I sit down. Of course, the adrenaline doesn't help because you don't feel anything when you have adrenaline pumping.
Right.
And then I go to the hospital to check my knee, and then I was thinking, the symptoms are kind of the same as the first time I tore my other ACL. But this time I didn't hear any pop. Usually when the ACL snaps, you hear a loud pop in the knee. But this time it didn't happen, and I didn't feel any pain. But the way the knee behaved is the same as before. So I was sitting there and thinking, okay, I probably know what the injury is. So I tell my doctors, and right now I'm going to shit on the Norwegian healthcare, so bear with me. I knew that it's probably the ACL. So I told the doctors, this and this happened. I can't walk. I couldn't even, do the scan properly because my knee was shaking. And I told them that I need MRI. I know it's the ACL. I know I didn't break anything. I know I tore the ACL. So I said that this is this same thing that happened last time, and I know the symptoms. I'm 100% sure it's the ACL, so I need an MRI. And they kind of have to follow the procedure to take the normal scans before the MRI. And they said, we didn't find anything. I said, this is the same thing you told me the last time 10 years ago. You did the scan, you didn't find nothing. You said that I kind of stretched the ligaments and I could return to physical activity as soon as the pain allows me. And it resulted in that 6 months after the injury, I still didn't feel any improvement. So I went to my private doctor and told him, this is not a normal tear. This is a complete tear, or it's something wrong. I need a proper scan. And they did the MRI. Now the story is kind of intertwined. I'm sorry. So, and I did the MRI, and the doctor said that, can you look at the picture? I said, yes. Do you see all the white dots around the knee? I said, yeah. These are millions of micro tears in your bone because you still use your leg, and the bones don't heal properly. And do you see this area here? I said, yeah. There has to be like a black substance, but there isn't. This is where your ACL should be, but the pictures are like there have never been anything there. So it completely kind of disappeared from my leg. This is the first one. And the second one, I said that, you did the scan first time, and I know you're not going to find anything. But they still had to, follow the procedure. And of course, they didn't find anything. And this time I didn't wait for 6 months before I acted. So I went to my doctor and I said, I know the symptoms. I need the MRI. And I had to really argue with my doctor to get the MRI scan, to get the approval for the scan. And of course, it was kind of 50-50 on the scan. They thought it was a partial tear, and it will probably heal. And I waited for a little bit. I tried to do some physical therapy. I didn't feel any improvement. And I came back to my doctor again and said that maybe they need to cut it up and inspect. Yeah, probably you're right. So I go to the hospital, and they do the required tests, physical tests for my knee, and they said we don't need to open anything up. There is it's a complete tear. I can judge just by doing the test. There's no stability in the knee whatsoever. And so yeah, short time after that, I got the surgery, and the doctors told me after the surgery that the reason why the MRI said that it was a partial tear is because the knee tried to repair itself. It was a complete tear initially, but the part of the ACL grew onto my PCL. It attached to my PCL. And there was a lot of scar tissue that they had to remove. So the knee tried to repair itself. So that's why the MRI showed the partial tear. Now it's been almost 5 months, and I'm still recovering, and I don't think I'm going to return after 6 months. No, I'll take my time this time.
That's definitely an incredible story for sure. I mean, since you've been out with injury, what reflection have you had on your pro wrestling career? You know, taking this downtime.
In terms of, do I regret anything?
No,
or...
just like now that you have like a minute to breathe, like how are you thinking about pro wrestling? What are you looking back? Like, what is your mindset?
My mindset haven't changed. I'm eager to get back as soon as possible, although I know I have to take my time right now to minimize the risk of re-injury. But it sucks. It sucks being on sidelines.
And when can we see you back returning to the ring?
I would probably. I'm aiming at maybe May or August.
Okay.
So it will be like, if I return in August, it will be like 11 months after the surgery. And the doctors here, they usually recommend now that you wait for at least 12 months before returning to sports.
Okay, I gotcha.
10 years ago, it was 6 to 9 months. Now it's 12.
Well, let's get into some of your matches. Can you tell us about your rivalry with Garm Stoylen?
Oh, where did you find that? Yeah, you did. You really did the background check on me. My rivalry with Garm Stoylen is epic. It's massive. It's been, well, I'm not gonna say it's been going on. It's over now, but it went on for like 7 years in a row. Not on and off, but in a row, and it was fantastic. I really loved it because we know each other very well, and we kind of have the same vision as how wrestling should look like and feel like, although he has some physical limitations now because he's been doing this probably like 20 years now, so it takes its toll.
Right.
And but he also likes proper physical contact, and I've been doing this so much with him that I got a hell of a lot stiffer in the ring because of working with him. And because I like to, when I get hit, I like to feel the proper contact. And he also likes that. So we hit each other very hard. We destroyed each other each time, with weapons, without weapons, didn't matter. So we really did go and left everything in the ring each time. And like I said, it went on for like 7 years, and it came to that I told him that we got to move on. It's been going on for so many years, and we got to mix it up a little bit, because I don't think the crowd is interested in our rivalry that much anymore, because it's so much you can do in the ring with the same opponent before you run out of ideas. But we really ended the rivalry with a with a spark. We like last of our 2 matches were like hardcore. There was one match that was called Bound by Hate, and it's like you're bound with a rope on each hand.
A bulldog match.
Yeah. And we did that. It was okay. I wouldn't say it was fantastic, but it was okay. But the last one, it was kind of a I quit match, and it was a bloody mess. Because the legend goes that Garm has never given up, never tapped out to anyone, never said I quit. And same for me. I never tapped out. It was kind of a battle of, unstoppable force against the immovable object, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it had to end with something crazy. And it did, but a lot crazier than we had planned for. So it ended like he bound me onto the ropes so I couldn't move. And at that time I had a manager, Vikki, and he was kind of yelling, "Do you give up? Say I quit. Just quit, just quit, just quit." And I said, no, I won't quit. And he took a pair of scissors and he just cut my hair. This is, by the way, how the rivalry started a few years back. I did cut his hair because I challenged him for a hair versus hair match. But then he broke his shoulder, I think, or shoulder. So he couldn't wrestle. And he was in this stable called Hirden. And then we did a kind of a twist. Because he broke his shoulder, he couldn't wrestle. He had a substitute wrestler going up against me. And the guy just betrayed, or the Hirden just betrayed Garm, and the guy I wrestled, he just laid down and let me pin him. So we all turned on Garm, and I cut his hair. And this is kind of a 7 years later, he cuts my hair. And I still don't give up. And then he grabs my manager and he choke slams her on the canvas, if I remember correctly. And then I just, get enraged, and I just get myself loose from the ropes, and I go all out on him and started beating him up. And now I'm kind of going back and forth. What happened before he put me on the ropes was we were battling outside, and I placed him near the steel steps, and I charge and I run at him, and he moves away, so I crash with my forehead onto the steel steps.
Ow.
And end up under the ring. So, like I was saying, we didn't plan to make it this crazy, but we did plan that I was gonna bleed. And like I said, adrenaline can be your friend, but it can be your enemy as well. So I'm laying under the ring, and I'm trying to get myself to bleed with a razor. I don't feel anything. I swipe across my forehead once. I don't feel anything. So I press the blade harder and swipe again, and then I heard like the skin kind of popped, and then a waterfall of blood just pouring down my face, and then I realized, fuck, I probably did too much. And when I was on the ropes, not giving up, I was thinking in my head, come on, because he's the guy that he takes his time. He kind of builds the anticipation, milks the crowd, and he really, really takes his time. So I was there hanging on the ropes, and I see just blood just pouring down my face. And I was thinking, come on, if you don't go on soon, I have to give up, because I have no idea how much blood I've lost at this point. And I had to clean the canvas afterwards. And I ended up with kind of a jiu-jitsu move. He was on top of me with a full mount, and he grabbed help me, the things you attach the corners to the poles.
The turnbuckle.
Yeah, the turnbuckle. Yeah. So he grabbed one of these under the ring, like a spare part, and he tried to stab me with it, but I blocked it, and I kind of did the jiu-jitsu move. I reversed it, so I ended up in a full mount and started to press the metal piece in his eye, and then he had to give up. And that's how much ended. And I had to kind of rush backstage to see how deep the cut is, and trying to keep myself in check. Am I feeling okay? Am I starting to get dizzy? Am I losing consciousness or not? And I felt okay, but I was a bit scared of how much blood I lost. So I ran into the shower, and the referee who was refereeing the match, who by the way had a lot of fun refereeing the match, he came to me to check on me, and I was standing in the shower. So he was holding the shower to help me clean the blood. But when he walked in the shower, he almost puked because how disgusting I looked. And I was like, dude, what's your problem? You were like right there in the ring with me. It was you had fun. You had good time. It didn't seem that you were disgusted but now you're almost puking. What's going on? But yeah, you know, the adrenaline, you gotta keep your mask on, you know. But now it's all, you know, real, and I can kind of relax, and this is disgusting. So he was holding his mouth with the one hand and holding the shower with another. Yeah. Yeah, and I got patched up and went to the hospital. The venue that we had the show at was like 10-minute walk, so I walked to the hospital with a open forehead. I was holding a piece of something, a bandage, I think, on my forehead just to keep the pressure. And I didn't really explain to the doctors what happened. I said I hit my head. They were kind of looking at me weirdly, like, and they said that this is a surgical precision cut, so it doesn't look like you hit your head. I said, yeah, that's what happened. Yeah, fun times. I hope I won't do it again.
Yeah, doesn't, I mean, it seemed good for the match, but maybe not the best for your health.
Well, you know, some stitches, a few days, and it was all good. But I'm probably going to do something similar again, but I will try not to cut myself so deeply
Right.
next time.
Now, you mentioned her. Could you tell us about Vikki Nocturne?
Yeah. She started out as a trainee in our wrestling school, and I kind of picked her up and took her under my wing, if I can say so. It happened when during a show she was helping out as a crew member, and she showed up with this really black gothic dress, and I thought it looked so cool. And right after I saw her in that dress and how cool she looked, I grabbed her and like, you're gonna be my manager now. And and we started training her towards that. And soon after, she debuted in one of my matches. We introduced her character, and that, by the way, turned me heel. So she was kind of a witch with some magical spells with a magical book. This book is a very, 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 very special book. I'm not gonna reveal what the book actually contains. If you're gonna have the interview with her, she can probably tell you herself, because it's I would say it's not my secret to reveal. And so she kind of cast a spell on me that turned me heel, and kept me under her control for several years. And we did a pretty good team. We worked really well together, but all things come to an end. So she eventually betrayed me, and then I turned face. I had a match with Christian LeVay, who was my tag team partner for a little bit, but she kind of stuck with him and betrayed me. And then we two had a match, which I won, which turned me face. And after the match, I I did a proposal to my now wife. So it was cool.
Alright. Now, besides wrestling in Norway, you've wrestled for IWF and Russia. Can you tell us about that experience?
It was amazing, man. It was so cool meeting the people there, meeting the other wrestlers there, meeting fans. The fans were fantastic. Fantastic is not a big enough word, I would say. I really loved it there. They do have a little bit different approach to wrestling, how matches are constructed, but it was also very cool, and I learned a lot from wrestling over there, and probably they learned something from me, I hope. And I would love to come back eventually when the time allows. And the guys, they felt like family, like from get-go. When I first met with them, they greeting me with respect, with kindness, with friendship, like I was part of their brotherhood, and it felt like I was at home, like from the start. And I've been over there, gosh, I don't remember how many times, quite a few times, and each experience have been fantastic. Nothing bad to say about them. Only good, positive things. I would, like I said, I would love to come back if they want me.
Crowd-wise, how was the fans in Russia compared to wrestling in for the fans in Norway?
Back then, it was wow. It was so cool seeing the crowd reacting so much, to see them being so invested in everything we do, being so loud. It wasn't so much the case here back then, but we really caught up with that here in Norway now. And the funny thing is that, you know, you kind of have to, if you're really aggressive, or if you interact with the crowd in a certain way, you have to kind of do a background check with maybe a promoter, to kind of ask how are the fans over here behaving, so you don't do anything wrong. Because if you do the stuff you do at home and you don't get the unwanted response, so you kind of try to do that elsewhere, and there's a risk that the fans respond differently. For example, before I would, when I was a heel, I would walk out to the ring with my hair wet. Like I wet my hair really, like a lot, so that there's like straight out of the shower, and I walk ringside, and I kind of do the, taunt the crowd, and I whip my hair so the water splashes onto the crowd. And I did something similar in Russia during a hardcore match, which was also a hair versus hair match. I did something similar there. What?
I believe that was against Roddy.
Yeah, correct. So I was interacting with one of the fans like during the whole match, and he was shouting something at me. I was shouting back, and at one point we were fighting outside, like right next to him, and Roddy picked up a road sign and smashed me over the head. It was like literally next to the guy I was arguing with the whole match. And when I looked back at the match on YouTube, I saw that the guy actually, it looked like he tried to do something physical to me, because he stood up, he went behind my back, and then I get hit by the road sign, and then the guy just got surprised and he sat back down. So I would say that Roddy saved me with that hit.
Yeah, not every day you get saved by getting hit by a road sign.
Yeah, true.
Alright. Now, I think it's a good time for Ruslin's Bizarre Adventure. You're a pro wrestler that goes up and down the roads, and weird, crazy, and bizarre things are bound to happen. Can you tell us a road story that fit that description?
Well, nothing crazy that comes to mind. I've been, I would say, blessed with nobody pulling jokes or pranks on me, and I've never done the same either. And I really don't know what to tell you.
I mean, fair enough. I mean, it seems like a lot of your crazy adventures are in the ring.
Yeah. I got one.
Okay.
It's from Russia again. I was over there with my good friend Björn Sem one time, and the guy is like almost 2 meters tall and was around 140 kilos in weight. So a really big guy. And we were over there in IWF wrestling a tag team match for the titles. Also against Roddy and the sorry, I forgot his name. He does like kind of a Hulkamania impersonation, but in his own way. I'm sorry, dude, I forgot your name. Don't get angry with me. Yeah, so we had this match, and after that we had to go back to the airport and to leave home. And I promised Björn that we're gonna go see Red Square before we go to the airport. And yeah, we went for the Red Square, and I look at the time, and I see that if we take the train, the Airport Express, we have to go now. We don't have the time to visit Red Square. But I promised him, so I said, if we're really fast, we can manage that. And yeah, we went to Red Square and took some pictures. It was cool. It was fun. He was happy. And then I look at the time again, and I said, Björn, we really have to run now if we are catching the plane. I have never seen a man this big running so fast. we went to the metro station, and the metros there are huge, gigantic. The escalators are long, and you have to really go far down underground to get to the metro. And so we did that, but then we have to get out of the metro also, and it's also a long way to go. And I said, Björn, we just gotta run, and we started running up the escalator, and I did run as fast as I could, but I was hearing that some stomps, huge loud stomps behind me, and the escalator was shaking. And I look over the shoulder, and Björn kept up the pace with me. He was right behind me. I could never imagine he could move so fast. It was crazy, and I literally got scared because I thought if I run and stop because there's someone in front of me that don't move, he was gonna crash into me. So I got scared, and it's not really something you would like to see, because it would probably look like that he was chasing me. And when you look over the shoulder, it's nothing you want to see, because it's really scary and fun at the same time. And yeah, we eventually did catch the plane because it was delayed.
Oh, sweet.
So we could probably spend more time at the Red Square.
And the name of the other wrestler was Kolya Simply?
Oh yeah, right. Oh, sorry, I forgot.
Yes. You are not.
You know, you really do know a lot.
I'll just be honest with that one. I just simply, it was a simple Google search.
Oh, okay.
Right. Can you tell us about your love of Mortal Kombat?
Do I have love for Mortal Kombat?
Yes.
I think it probably comes from one of the Halloween pictures that I have on my Instagram. Is that correct?
Yes.
Well, I wouldn't say that I do have love for Mortal Kombat. I would say I was fascinated by the movie, by the story when I was a kid, and it was really a cool action movie during my childhood. So I rewatched it probably 100, 200 times. I did have the movies on the VHS. Probably my top 5 most watched movies. And I did play a lot of Mortal Kombat when I was a child, but as I grew up, the interest for that kind of faded away. But speaking of the picture on my Instagram, I was just looking on a website that sold Halloween costumes, and I thought this one was cool, so I bought it. So it actually doesn't have anything to do with my love for Mortal Kombat.
Okay, I got you. I believe you did a Witcher cosplay as well, no?
Yeah, that one I like a lot more. Yeah, I did. I actually borrowed the costume from my friend who also dressed up as Witcher. He has probably 3 different Witcher costumes, and I didn't really know what I wanted to be for that Halloween. So he borrowed me one of his costumes, and it was cool. And he also gave me his lenses as well, which I forgot to take off when I went to bed. I forgot I had them on.
Ooh.
And I'm not going to do that again, because it wasn't a pleasant experience when I woke up and tried to take them off. I couldn't have my eyes open for several days. I had my friends coming over to me just to kind of guide me through my apartment and give me food, and they bought some medicine for the eyes, like salt water, I think, for the eyes. And yeah, several days without proper eyesight, it wasn't cool. It's kind of it's a similar experience to the if you do the welding without eye protection, and you get kind of a sunburn in your eyes, so you can't keep them open for more than maybe half a second because it hurts so bad.
Right. All right. Can you tell us about your tattoos and if they have any meaning?
Yeah, how many do I have now? Yeah, I can probably start with the biggest one. The biggest one is a tattoo of a hellhound. It's on my right arm, and it's actually a cover up for the tattoo that I had previously on my right arm. And that story is more interesting than the cover. I was probably 18. Yeah, I think I was 18. I don't remember if I started wrestling or not back then. I was with my friend in Turkey on a holiday, and the whole holiday was cool. But the funny part was, it was the last day before we had to go back home, and we went to the city center, or we planned to go to the city center, because we discovered that we didn't buy any souvenirs and stuff to give our families or friends at home. So we decided we go out to the city center and we buy something for everyone. And we were of course drunk, and we were walking past this a tattoo shop, and I stopped, started looking at the designs and tattoos that were displayed on the wall there. And my friend, he kind of said, like, come on, we have to hurry. We have to go to the shop and buy something. I said, yeah, give me a second. I think these tattoos are cool. Just give me some time to kind of enjoy the art. And he said, yeah, come on, let's just walk in and just look at it from the inside. One thing led to another, and then he sits in this chair getting tattooed, completely drunk. And I was sitting there waiting for him, and he was kind of pressuring me, tempting me. Come on, you need to get a tattoo as well. I said, no, you know that tattoos, you have them for life. You cannot just do a spontaneous tattoo without thinking it through. I said, I'm not planning to get any tattoos because I don't know what to tattoo or where. And this has to be a sober decision and thoroughly thought through. But he kept pressuring me, and then I just told the guy that was working here, do you have Google? Yeah, just open the Google, and I Googled symbol for World of Warcraft, one of World of Warcraft factions called Horde. And I said, like, okay, I want this one. By the way, at that time, I didn't play the game anymore. I just thought that, always thought that this symbolic is kind of cool. So I said, yeah, I want that one. And then I got the tattoo. Of course, when I woke up the next morning, I kind of regretted it. Yeah, but it was done, so I couldn't do anything with it, about it. I had it for like 10 years, I think, the tattoo. And I always thought it looked silly, childish, because I wasn't playing the game, and everyone knows it's from the game, and I do not look serious having this tattoo. And I finally decided to cover it up with something, and that picture that the tattoo of the hellhound that I have on my arm now is a picture that I had saved on my computer for few years, and I always admired it because how well drawn the picture is, how cool the hound looks. And then one day I said to me, like, let me contact a tattoo artist and see if it's possible to have this on my arm as a cover. And yeah, it was. It did take like 14 hours to complete. It was. I don't remember if it was in. I don't think it was in one sitting. I think it was in 2 separate sessions, but 14 hours in total. And that is the best decision I've made about the tattoos, because this one I haven't regretted for a second, and I still do enjoy it when I walk past the mirror. I do stop and look at it and admire it, and still think it is cool.
All right. Now, is there any plans for new tattoos in the future?
Actually, yes and no. I kind of want to continue on the arm. I want to have something on the other side of the arm, like on my bicep, to completely cover, the 360 on that area. And I was thinking a lot what I wanted to have, and I haven't really come to any ideas that would kind of match with the tattoo that I already have. But actually, maybe a week ago, I had this idea because I'm a huge soccer fan. I would say football because over here it's called football. Right. So sorry. Yeah. So I'm a huge football fan, and my main team, or I would say the only team that I support, is Arsenal from London. And I had this idea. Maybe I would ask the AI to make matching design with Arsenal symbolic that would also match the tattoo that I already have. So it wouldn't be completely different. But now the AIs that do generate pictures or tattoos, they cost money now. Like not so long ago it was free. Now it costs money. So I'm thinking maybe I will wait a little bit and see if that's what I really want before I spend any money on that.
Right.
Or maybe I'll give the money to a proper tattoo artist to draw something cool. But it's a lot faster using the AI, of course.
I would personally go with the artist. Rather give money to people than, robots.
Yeah, that's probably true. And they do deserve it more than the big corporate companies.
Right. We don't need to feed Skynet.
No. Of course.
Right. Now, can you tell us about that video that you made? Video that you made about making a music video in the woods?
The what?
There was a you were in a part of a band and you were going to make a music video in the forest or the woods.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you know more than I remember. Yeah, it was actually it was a school assignment for then manager Vikki. So I think she still goes, but at least she went to a film school then, and one of the assignments were to make a small video, and she had this idea to make kind of a music video, a silly music video of a gothic band, and we did use a lot of humor there. The contradicting elements to make it as silly as possible. Kind of a every hardcore heavy metal gothic band, they have some music video in the woods to make it creepy, to have the to give it a proper atmosphere to the song. And so we just kind of made fun of it. So we went to the woods, and before we went to the woods, we were discussing on camera, like, what's the coolest thing that a band could do? What's the best location? What's the best scenery that would be fitting for a band? And then we agreed that the forest is what everyone does. So why try finding something new when this is proven and tested? Well, tested and proven. Sorry. And then we went out in the woods and started filming, and everything seemed so nice. It didn't feel like heavy metal, hardcore, satanic kind of stuff, because everything was so nice. The birds were singing, the wind was blowing, the snow was crystal white, and we tried to find different angles, different locations, and everything was so nice. And we kind of decided that who films a music video in a forest, because the forest is so cozy. You cannot give it the kind of a dark vibes that we wanted. So that was the music video about that. Everyone else does is so cool and dark and epic, and what we managed to do is some cool, nice atmosphere. So it was contradicting what heavy metal music video should look like. So that was the idea for the school subject.
What was that like for you, filming that as one of the actors?
It was fun. It was like it's shown on the video. We had a lot of fun, and we did get some ideas on the go as we saw cool stuff that could be contradicting. For example, the singing birds, and then we kind of imitated that there were some scientists. I don't know what I think it's called ornithology in English. The science that studies birds. And we kind of, and we kind of did the impression of that. And it can't be dark when such things, nice things as birds and are in the shot.
Right.
So we kind of went with that to make it as silly as possible.
I think that's a good segue into the colossal question. Let's say they're making a movie about you. Every movie has a soundtrack. What would be the first 3 songs on your movie soundtrack?
Probably I would go with my current interest song of a band called Dio, and the song is called Pain. That would probably give the proper vibe of how I try to kind of portray myself in the ring.
Okay.
And I got to give you 2 more, right?
Yes.
Maybe I would go with I actually don't remember the name of the band or the name of the song, but I do remember some words. This song, I'm the best around, nothing's gonna ever keep me down. It's a really, really old song.
I mean, it sounds familiar, but I can't necessarily put my finger on the exact song. Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Or maybe Eye of the Tiger. I could probably go with that as well, because that would describe how I kind of started with wrestling, how I felt back then, being a 19-year-old kid, and how I got here, where I am right now, in terms of how I evolved as a human being, as a person, and how I evolved in the ring. And it all thanks to wrestling and being a kind of never give up kind of person, and try to prove everyone wrong every time. When people are always going to question you, always going to hate on you for something, always going to try to drag you down and kind of make you quit and sabotage your path towards your goal in life or in wrestling. Well, wrestling is life for me.
Right.
And those are the songs that could probably describe it the most. Because when I started out, I wasn't really sure that I was even good enough to be accepted to a wrestling school. and I always showed up and tried my best, and I really kind of had this attitude that if I die, I die. At least I'm gonna give it my best, and I'm gonna succeed no matter what.
I believe the second song was by Joe Esposito. You're the best.
Not sure. Well, there's actually one wrestler here over here in Norway that uses that song as an entrance right now.
Okay then. Well, either way, a solid 3 picks to say the least. And everybody knows that once you get the soundtrack first, then you write the script, and then you go to casting. Who plays you? And you can't say yourself because you are obligated to make a Stan Lee-esque cameo.
Does it have to be a real actor, or could I pick anyone but me?
Yes.
That's a hard one. No, give me a minute. That's a really hard one. Never thought about a scenario like that. So kind of didn't have the opportunity to dream away.
Right. I mean, anybody that you'd like. A dead, alive, old, new, AI's a thing. We could make it work. CGI, I should say. CGI is a thing. We have unlimited budget. We could make it work.
Well, maybe. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna say Jack Black.
Okay.
Because he's a great actor, and he did play this Nacho Libre movie, and he has a great funny personality. I would say I would hope I have a similar personality in real life. I like to fool around, try to be funny. Maybe my sense of humor isn't that great, but as long as I'm having fun, I'm okay. And he kind of gives out the same vibe. He tries to have fun no matter what. No matter what situation he's in. I've been watching his YouTube channel a little bit, and he doesn't act, in his movies. He is just himself.
Right.
I would think, and I think he would be a good pick to kind of play me as a person who I am outside the ring, but I don't think he would have any problems to play me in the ring as well.
Okay. Now that we have you casted, every movie has a supporting cast. Who would be 3 people with a lot of meaning to you in your story that would be in your movie?
One of them would. Can I pick the people that I know, the wrestlers that I know?
Yeah.
Wrestlers that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, what you want.
One of them is definitely Björn Sam, because he is the guy that I have a lot of respect for. and he's the guy that helped me a lot during my early years in wrestling, and he kind of guided me in the right direction, and I try to repay him back as much as I can, and I would say that he would be a great addition to that movie. He actually played in. I think he has played in some movies before as well, so he has the experience in acting.
So he could play himself.
What?
So he can play himself.
He can play himself, yeah, and yeah, he probably had one of the he's one of the guys that had the most influence in me in terms of development of my persona in and outside the ring. And the second one would also probably be Garm Stoylen, because he played a huge part in how I am today, in hardening me, hardening my kind of willpower, supporting me during my hard times. We're actually neighbors now.
Wow.
Yeah. So worst enemies to neighbors. Yeah. He's also the guy that I have a lot of history with in the ring. So it will be unwise to not include him.
Okay.
And maybe the third pick would be probably The Undertaker, because I looked up to him and followed his career closely when I was younger, and he also certainly had a lot of influence in terms of my character, my gimmick, and when I went to school, I sometimes pretended I was him. I was playing The Undertaker in gym classes when we had, some free time that we could do whatever we wanted in terms of activities. So I did drag out a mat, and I was trying to impersonate him, and that carried on definitely into onto the my current gimmick. Although I try not to copy too much that it would be obvious, although I think it's kind of obvious.
Right. Alright. It's sounding like a great movie. A blockbuster, to say the least. And you could pre-order the tickets now. Right. Onto a controversial subject. Pineapple on pizza. What's your stance?
Hell no. Never. That's the worst combination in history of pizza or food.
Okay, so we are very anti-pineapple on pizza.
0.
Alright.
But a better combo that I discovered not too long ago is mayonnaise on pizza.
Okay.
Well, mustard works as well, but mayonnaise is, I love ketchup, so I use ketchup on everything, and also I wouldn't say I love mayonnaise. I like mayonnaise, but I always ate pizza with not with garlic dip, not with any other dip. I always ate pizza with ketchup, but not too long ago I found out I didn't have ketchup in my fridge. I only had mayonnaise, so I tried it, and it was a revelation. Try it.
Okay. Doesn't sound too bad. So yeah. Alright. What's your spirit Pokemon?
My spirit Pokemon. Probably Greninja.
Hell yeah.
Because he has the Greninja is kind of a Pokemon ninja, and I always had a special interest for the classic ninja movies.
Okay. Now, weirdest question you'll be asked on a wrestling interview, hopefully. Would you ever consider wrestling a Rock? Not Dwayne Johnson, not the country, an actual physical Rock.
Like a boulder, a rock.
Yes, correct.
If I would wrestle a rock, probably not, because it's not a living thing. It's an object, and when I watch the matches where they wrestle dolls and other objects, it's not my cup of tea, to say it mildly. I think it's just so stupid that it's not wrestling anymore for me. So wrestling objects, no. Not for any money, no.
Well, just for context, there's a wrestler named Psycho Mike that indeed wrestled a Rock for over 15 minutes in a Tungsten Man match. That's an Iron Man match that lasted for 2 weeks.
That's probably not one single show.
No, he definitely did some other shows in between the wrestling The Rock. He had matches while he was wrestling The Rock as well. So, no, it wasn't.
My question to myself is, do I want to see some clips of that match or not? I'm not sure I want to, but it's kind of a interesting at the same time to maybe have a little peek, but I'll probably sit there face palming during the whole clip.
Well, if you'd like it, I can send it to you. You could let me know.
Well, you tell me, based on my answer to you, do I want to see it?
I would say so. The way that it was filmed, and from the context of the video, it was basically described to me as Saturday Night Live, but pro wrestling, backyard wrestling. So basically, It was a parody. So I think because it's kind of the context of how the match came to be, I think you would maybe probably like it.
Well, okay, then I'll trust you. Send me the link.
Okay, I'll send you the link. On a more serious note, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Realistically, judging by my family situation, judging by my physical health, I would still be wrestling here in Norway. But if I let my fantasy go, of course, I would like to wrestle for WWE a little bit at least, just to have my 5 minutes of fame on the big screen, if you know.
Okay. And what is a match people should go out of their way to see that shows you off as a pro wrestler?
The match that I already had, or?
Yes.
Oh. One of the matches that I like the most is unfortunately not on a videotape, or it's probably lost somewhere. You know, in a wrestling match, you wrestle differently. Sometimes you plan something ahead, sometimes you don't, and regardless, it's rarely that things go 100% your way. So some stuff happen all the time. Maybe, yeah, one or two times, but it's never perfect. And I had one match that went absolutely perfect 100%. We didn't plan much, but it was so smooth that it was described as the one of the old classics with
Ric Flair and
Ricky the
Ricky
Dragon Steamboat. What?
Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboat.
Yeah, like one of those matches. I've never experienced a match that went so smoothly, and we didn't have to kind of improvise too much, and we had complete understanding just by having eye contact, without talking, without anything, and it was cool. It was a cool experience, you know, to have a match like that. But unfortunately, I don't think it's possible to watch it. I haven't watched it back, but the description I give you is the comments that I've received about the match. And probably one match that can be seen is, I would say, is one of my best matches, or one of the matches that I like the most is this hair versus hair match against Roddy in IWF.
And we can find that on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Perfect.
That match, I just had a lot of fun. And when you do have a lot of fun in a match, the matches usually turn out to be good.
All right.
And I remember that we were told that we had maybe 8 to 12 minutes, and we went on for over 20, and we just got, we just lost the track of time because we enjoyed it so much, both of us. So we didn't know how much time passed until after we went backstage, and Roddy, he received a lot of backstage heat. I didn't, because maybe because I was a foreigner and they couldn't critique me, or they felt that it wasn't fitting to critique me because they hired me, and they,
Right.
it would be maybe not so good to critique someone you hired who have delivered a good match but went overtime. But it's probably 90% my fault that we did go overtime. So if you guys over in IWF, if you listen to this, it's my fault. So I'm sorry. Roddy, he was critiqued for nothing. It was completely my fault. But the match was good.
Right. And
you could probably see it on my face in a match that I really do enjoy it.
And I will get that match from YouTube, and I will put a link to it in the description of the video below, but on YouTube and Castbox for anybody that hasn't seen it, wants to see it, wants to re-see it after this interview.
Yeah.
And since we are nearing the conclusion of this interview, we are wrestling with the 8 questions of doom. This is our speed round, our bonus round, the round where we see who you really are. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Excluding yourself, greatest wrestler of all time.
Well, this is a speed run, right? So I
Yes.
don't have the time to think.
I mean, you can think if you'd like to think.
In terms of being a complete package, I would say Kurt Angle.
Worst wrestler.
Great colleague.
I will accept that answer. Your main eventing WrestleMania for the World Championship. Who is your opponent?
The Undertaker.
If you could come out to anyone's entrance music, past or present, who would it be?
It would be Garm's entrance music, which I used for a little bit. It's called Isn't It... hold on. I have to find the right word.
Okay, that's fine.
Isn't it pleasant to have someone to hate?
Okay. Finish the sentence. Kayfabe is...
Hopefully not dead.
We would have also accepted taste great on toast.
Can you repeat that?
We would have also accepted taste great on toast.
Oh, okay.
It's a joke. Squash, vegetable or fruit?
A vegetable.
It is a fruit.
Okay.
Yes. But you're part of Squash Squad now. That means a hell of a lot more. New Japan wrestler Tai Chi. His ring gear gets smaller every year, revealing more of himself to the world. My question, what is the appropriate trunks to butt cheek ratio for ring gear?
Oh. Probably trunks that cover most of the ass cheeks.
So like 90% covered, 10% not.
Yeah.
Alright. And
it depends on who. If it's on a woman wrestler or on a guy wrestler.
Okay.
On a woman, it could probably be a little bit more revealing, but not too much as well.
Okay, gotcha. last question, the main event, the thing everybody wants to know. Have you ever had a conversation with a stranger in a supermarket about Darby Allin?
With a stranger, no.
And that is the correct answer. And that will conclude this interview. Thank you so much for coming on and doing this with me.
It was a pleasure to be on your show.
The pleasure was all mine. Once again, where can we find you on social media and your merchandise?
You can find me on Instagram, wrestling_R, and you can find me on Facebook, Norwegian Nightmare Ruslan. It's a page, not a profile. And you can find my merch on prowrestlingtees.com.
Perfect. And you don't even have to type it into your Google machines. All of the links to all your social media will be in the description of the video below, but on YouTube and Castbox, simply click the link. A new tab will appear on whatever device you are on. You have no excuse. Buy a damn shirt. Of course, thank you for listening. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment, both on YouTube and Castbox. This is sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. Join us next Tuesday and Wednesday for new incredible interviews, and follow the show at Wrestling with E, but on X, Thread, and Instagram for information on who we're interviewing, when we're interviewing them, links to those interviews, and so much more. Follow me personally at JamesJ993. Alright, when I say wrestling with, you say entertainment, okay?
Okay.
For our special guest wrestling, Calico Yacht, Scooter Dust, I'm James J, and this has been Wrestling with
Entertainment.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.